are TuVues podcast. Dr. Keith and Kev G, ready to get back with y'all with another interesting topic. How y'all doing this evening?
What up, man? This man always asks y'all what y'all doing this evening like y'all can hear now. What up, man?
Well, welcome.
KLG here, man. TuVues, y'all know what it is, man. We back in the building. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good, man. It was a good day, man. Good weekend. Had homecoming weekend with the kids. Football team putting up big numbers, so it's an exciting weekend for me. How
Hey, y'all
about you?
decent? Y'all decent?
Yeah, we actually we crack heads. We put up 59-3 Friday.
Who y'all play,
So
Mario? Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
he don't do my alma mater like that. They gonna get it back because we're gonna hit the lottery. We're gonna build them an indoor practice facility.
Oh, man, they need to turf that field. That's what they really need to do. All right, man. We here, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We got a good topic for y'all. Hopefully it's a topic that can open some eyes a little bit. Right, so but we're gonna start it off, man. Y'all know the new segment, man. Keith, man, what is this new segment?
What the hook gonna be? Uh-oh.
All right, man. Y'all got the new segment, man. What the hook gonna be in the segment? Y'all know what it is. Y'all seen the last couple. I'm gonna play instrumental. He gotta figure out what this instrumental is, right? So he gotta give me the hook. All right, y'all at home, y'all gonna be able to see if y'all on YouTube, y'all or Spotify, y'all gonna be able to see what the song is. He won't. He got to get all four to ace the test. Right, one wrong, he out of there. He might do all right on this one today. He might do all right, but we'll see, man. We'll see. You ready for this, man?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
A couple of these, man, I gotta start it. I can't start it exactly at the spot because if I start at the beginning, you gonna get what the
I'm gonna
song
get
is
it.
because they do
Okay.
some stuff at the beginning where you'll get what it is. But you should get most of these though, man. Do you want me to tell you what the genre is, or you want to just go?
No, I'm just gonna go, man. You know, I'm a
Okay.
musical genius.
Okay, just gonna go. So let me get to my right playlist. So I'm not on the right playlist.
Hey, y'all see Kevin got a pro line in?
You know better than that. You know better than that, cuz.
That boy got one of them nice like this. I wish curl having.
You know better than that. You be hating, man. You hate hard, man. You shouldn't do that, man. Don't look good on you. I mean, like keep yourself up. You'll be like me. Okay, man. Here we go, man. First one. Gotta turn it down a little bit. I don't want to hear when I started. All right. Okay, this first.
Playing from iPad.
All right, this first one. Here we go, man.
Come on, yeah.
You know what this one is, man?
That's OPP. Hip hop away. Oh, hey, oh, yeah. Come on, it's
You
OPP.
got that one?
That's OPP, man. Other people's property.
Which one is it, Keith?
Hip hop array.
Yeah, so like I was saying, which one you choosing? You know them two
Hip hop
separate.
array, bro.
You know them
Hip
two
hop array.
separate.
My
songs.
bad. My bad.
So I think it's Hip Hop Array.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I hear him out there. He think that was Hip Hop Array. What y'all think it is? Y'all see it. Let him know if he's right or wrong on that one, man. Here we go. Let's go to the second one. Let's see if you get this one. We start from the beginning.
I got to watch this. I gotta get the title right though. Savage Garden. I knew I loved you. Savage Gardens. It's my jam, man. I don't know. I know this how the chorus goes, so I'm gonna guess that's what the title is.
So
But
give
it's
me the
Savage
chorus,
Garden.
baby.
Huh?
What's the chorus?
I knew I loved you before I met you. I knew you dream. Yeah,
Think you right, man? You sure?
I know I'm right. Savage
Okay.
Gardens, man. I know
Okay.
that one.
You said Savage Garden. I knew
I
I
think
loved
I dreamed you
you. Right,
into
right.
life.
Okay, here we go, man. Let's run another. Let's do a third one. Here we go. Let's go with let's stay in let's stay let's go here. I got I gotta play it from here though. I can't play it from the beginning. Ready?
All right, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and style that you're used to. I look funny. Humpty dance. Humpty dance.
All right, that's your final guess.
Yep.
Let's be
It's not all around. It's not all around the world. Same song. That's Humpty dance.
Are you sure? I mean, which one is it, man? Make a
It's
choice,
Humpty
man. You gotta make a
dance.
final.
It's
Humpty
Humpty
dance.
dance.
Okay. You finite on that one, huh? Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, the
We'll
Humpty
see.
dance is your chance to do the.
We'll, s- we'll see if you get 100% on this though. Here we
I'm
go.
already on 100 right now. I'm 3 for 3.
Sure.
Yeah, Savage Garden. That's my song, man. That's in the playlist. I know this one because it's from the City of Angels soundtrack. I know this one. I got it. And I don't want the world to see me. I just want you to know who I am. That's my song too. I just want you to know who I am, bro.
All right. That's your
Hey,
final.
I'm 4 for 4, man.
Who the art? You want to say the artist too? Or you just want the song?
Who is artist though? That's not Savage Gardens too. Yeah, I would say I would.
I'll tell you, no, it's not Savage Garden again.
Hey, everything's meant to be broken. I just want you to know who I
The
am.
song ain't gonna help you with the who the artist
It'll help
is.
me because I can. No, I ain't gonna even try it.
All right, man. Okay, first song. Key said, you said Hip Hop Array, right? By Naughty by
Mm-hmm.
Nature. Second song, he got Savage Garden, I Knew I Love You. Third song, he said the Humpty Dance, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. He got the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground. And then the fourth one, you got what you said was
I just want you to know who I am by not Green Day. Green Day. Green Day.
you don't lose based off the artist. So I'm not gonna give you an L.
I bet I got it though, didn't I?
You want me to tell you?
No, but I know I got it. It's cool. Go, man.
You want me to, I can tell you where he
Nope.
got that one at least
Nope.
from right around.
Nope. No, I'm gonna wait till I see the video.
Okay. Okay. So those is four. All right. The final one, he said, I just want you to know who I am. That's the title. All right. He said that's the title. Cool. So that's his four, right? That's what the hook gonna be. Keith four. Hip Hop Array. I Knew I Loved You. Humpty Dance. And I knew what you say? I just want you to know who I am. That's his four. Y'all tell me
Mm-hmm.
if he got them right or not.
Or is it
Y'all
called the City of Angels? I think it's called the City of Angels.
You want me to tell you or not, man?
I'm gonna go with the City of Angels by Green Day.
Okay, he's switching up. City of Angels by Green Day.
I'm gonna go with City of Angels.
City of Angels by Green Day. When we get off the podcast, I'm gonna tell him what it is, right? Tell him if he right or wrong on that, right?
All
All
right.
right. So that four he got City of Angels by Green Day. Let me just say this: you got the movie right. You got the movie.
title. So I
I'm
got
not
the
gonna tell you
title.
nothing else. I'm telling you that for sure. The movies, like
I know it's on the
you
City of
said
Angels soundtrack.
you said it from City of Angels. You are correct. It's from City of Angels.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's what
I'm
the
4
hook
for
gonna
4
be.
like Wendy's, bro. I'm 4 for 4 like Wendy's.
Okay. Wait till I. Okay. All right, man. What the hook gonna be, man? Dr. Davis, man. Let's see what you got, man, for these dad jokes, man. What's up with these
All
dad
right.
jokes?
All right. So, hear me out. Hear
Man,
me
bring all
out.
these setups, man.
Hear me out, man.
These setups, man.
You all right? So you was in orchestra. I was in orchestra. You played the bass. I played the viola. Man, we real into classical music, right? And
Yeah,
so
man.
one of my favorite classical people is, we like Beethoven, great classical composer. Um, and so one thing we don't know about, but there's some stuff we don't know about Beethoven. So I'm gonna ask you this: what is Beethoven's favorite fruit? His favorite fruit. You know, G?
No,
I
man.
can
What's
be
your
out.
favorite fruit?
Banana, banana. All right,
Oh
say that
man.
one a good
Okay.
one. This
Okay,
one,
man.
this one ain't as
That
good.
was all right. That was all right, man. That
I
was all
should have
right.
did that one last though, because the other one ain't. The other two ain't as good as that one. But
All right, go ahead.
we don't want YouTube to kick us off, so we can't. You got to make sure what type of jokes we till we take it clean, right? And so, but for this one instance, I just want to tell a dirty joke. If you don't mind, just I know hopefully it don't get us kicked off of YouTube. I want to just tell a dirty joke, G.
Go ahead,
Ready?
man. What's this joke?
A man fell in the mud.
Oh
All right,
man.
all right. My final one, man. I think I went greatest to least. So it's so man,
Oh.
we
Hey, that was very banana though, man. I don't that will caught me off guard, man. Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
so as I'm a teacher, and I was we just had the homecoming this past weekend, and we had to clean up after homecoming, man. So we was looking for the janitor, couldn't find him nowhere, right? And so we was like, man, we were all over the building. We was looking in the closet. So when he took the closet, you know what he said? Supplies.
Yeah, you ended on a bad note. You had two good ones. You had two
Oh
good
man.
ones. And you ended
Oh
with
man.
that one.
I think I'm 3 for 3. I think I'm 3 for 3.
You had two good you chose to end with the supplies one. That what you chose.
I
You
thought
chose to
all
end
was
with
hilarious.
that one.
I thought all of it was hilarious.
The mud one caught me off guard though, man. And that was just caught me off guard though. For real, though. It just caught me off
Oh
guard.
man.
Yeah,
I'm
but
here
that
all day,
supply
y'all.
no man, you fell flat on the supplies one, cuz.
No man.
The first two, I give you 2 out of 3 on that. I give you 2 out of 3 on that. You made me laugh on the first two. You made me laugh for two. That last one.
Hey Kevin. Banana.
Oh man, this dude.
Oh man. I'm here all night, y'all.
Them Dr. Davis's dad jokes, man. Y'all gotta rate them on these. I'm giving them a 2 out of 3. That last one was a stretch. But the
I gotta
first
get
two,
a 2.5.
bro, the first one got me though. I get it. The second one, the second one was just random, man. It just threw me for a loop. It was just random. No, those two was good, man. But that last one, I'm not giving you no half of that last one. You don't get no
I
half
can
of
get a
that.
half, G.
No, man. You don't even get a percentile. No, for that one. But no, this thought they just rate them on them. Send them some too, man. He need to weaponize himself on these
Yeah.
podcasts with with these jokes. So send them some. Let them use them. Let them use
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I'm
All right,
running low,
all right,
man. I need your help.
sure. All right, man. Let's get into this topic.
Yes, sir.
Again, this is one. Of course, it's controversial. I mean, it was in the news. It still plays a factor in corporate world, and not just corporate world, but um, in our world, in the world, in the United States altogether. I mean, so much stuff happening right now, and the divisiveness, and this is part of it. So
Hmm.
today, man, we're gonna talk about DEI and internal racism. Internal racism and DEI, how they play a factor in and looking in ourselves for to see if we're the problem.
Hmm.
And that's not just your race or culture. It's all of us. We have to really see what the problem is here. So, you know how we always do it, man. We always go back to the beginning or to history to tap into some of these subjects and talk about why we stand where we stand or why we differ where we differ and how we can move forward in these areas in these sections. So let's talk about the history of DEI and the need of it. You want to jump in on this, Keith, or you want me to run with it?
You can roll with it. I follow because well let me just run with the just knowing that throughout history and throughout time there has been always been issues with not only racism but with the use of prejudices to control people and the use of bias and the evidence of bias. And so I think that's going to guide a lot of our discussion. And I think I just want everybody who's watching to have an open mind to what we're saying. Take off your political hats for a quick moment. Take off your own beliefs for just a quick moment and just hear what we're trying to say, so that we can help truly bring down the hot climate that we're dealing with today. So I'll let you go kick it off, and then I'll jump in.
And simply put, man, humanize yourself on this. Humanize yourself. Like, don't look at it completely from your point of view and your race or your upbringing, but see it in its totality and take it for what it is. So we already know where the history of DEI started. You can go as far back as slavery. And matter of fact, let me not go slavery. Let's go to Jim. Let's come up a little bit. Let's start with Jim Crow. Let's
Correct.
start with
Right.
Jim Crow. To where it was hard for individuals to do certain jobs and be able to be qualified for certain jobs because of their color, because of ethnicity. Pretty much on your color, because depending on how light you are, how dark you were, it could vary on if you got a position or not and where your position was. So Jim Crow was a tough time. No matter if we try to erase the history of Jim Crow was what it was. And it was a segregation of the people of the United States where this was a place to where people came to be free. But the Jim Crow showed that the equality and all things that our forefathers talked about weren't truly there, and the equality wasn't there. And so throughout time, throughout the 60s and 70s, it started becoming a need for this thing called affirmative action. I think it came over through the 80s, if I'm not correct, Keith. I think affirmative action probably started in the
Hmm.
80s, um,
Correct.
where there was disproportionately the people of color were disproportionately not able to get jobs as compared to the people of Caucasian descent, right? And so they created this law to allow or to let me use the word force to force employers to be equal in their hiring process and allocate out of a certain portion to the hiring of minorities, black and brown people. Um, and as we all know, we come to the current climate. Our current president has gotten rid of DEI, and let me not say he got rid of DEI. He took, and that's where a falsity comes in. Is that they think that he got rid of DEI. What he truly did was he stripped it from the federal level. Right, it's no
Correct.
longer in the federal level, and it gives companies and corporate individuals the right to be able to do it because affirmative action was at the federal level. So it stripped that out of the need of our laws and allowed corporations and companies and individuals people to make decisions on as they see fit. Um, what we saw a lot of companies get rid of their DEI programs, whether it's their whether it was their organization within the company to um, have different abilities to support people of different ethnicities, cultures, and things of that sort. We saw a lot of companies become afraid to even have discussions about it, to have it, the fear of being ridiculed by, let's be real, political people, that DI is such just bad things. And their talk about DI was that companies and corporations were being forced to hire people that weren't qualified. These individuals, these dissents weren't qualified for the position. Is that because there was affirmative action and DI? These corporations was forced to hire people who weren't qualified for the position. And then, to me, that's just funny that all those people that weren't qualified for the position are colored people. But that's, we can talk about that as we go on. And that's where we are now as a nation, to where there's a fear to have diversity and inclusion in a workplace. There's a fear of diversity and inclusion beyond the workplace, and and racism itself has become more emboldened, in my opinion, by that fact. So that's where our diversity and inclusion. And we can get in a little depth on how I feel about the stripping of it and all that, but I'm gonna let you jump in here.
Yeah, so I'm in a state where it is in full effect here in Texas, where it is almost it is illegal to have any DEI practices. But I want to go back a little bit more in the history, not a little back and forth. I want to go back to what you talk about history when you talk about post Civil War Reconstruction era United States, and the effect that it has, because you had what you had is like we talk about the 40 acres and the mule, which African Americans did not receive post Civil War, but there were job opportunities which kind of folded back into slave mentality, uh, slavery type workforces, because you had one of the major ways African Americans could earn money during that time was through farming, through sharecropping. But the way sharecropping was set up, it was done in a way to where um, black uh, sharecroppers didn't make any money off their products, because they had to buy all these different materials at extended prices in order to just complete the job. And most of them either lost money or came out zero, and they lost the money to where they had to sell their land off to somebody else because they couldn't afford it. So there's a lot of practices put in place to keep certain groups subservient, right? And when we talk about these practices and these things put in place, we also got to remember that this affected a lot of people, right? It affected Catholics. It affected Jewish Americans. It affected Chinese Americans. It affected a lot of most Asian American groups. And it really affected, it probably affected the African American community the most, but it really affected women of all colors, right? And that's why I want a lot of people to know about affirmative action. Affirmative action in itself had a greater effect on women in totality than it had on any other cultural piece, right? And so this was an opportunity. These things that are put in place that we're going to be talking about were put in place to lay the playing field. But I want to say this about um, what it's done, because first of all, let's understand that there is a system called the quota system that was in place prior to affirmative action, where some of the wealthy elites got different positions based on their elitism, right? And so let's be clear, there's elements of affirmative action in a lot of our practices with the elites, right? um, but we have to understand that this whole process um, was not to give jobs unfairly to the undeserving just because they were a minority. We have to make that very clear, right? What these processes did was to create an avenue to say, hey, you, this one characteristic of my race um, or gender if you have me and a person of a white person in office together, we have the same qualifications, the same certifications, the same degree. We should have the same opportunities to apply for that job. That's what it's saying. I think so often when we look at these things, I kind of blame businesses because what they did is they cut and said, "Hey, we're gonna save this percent of the jobs for affirmative action." When the fact of the matter is, the whole point is to create equity among your hiring practices and any other practices you have, right? Um, and I bring this up to say, um, and this is just my opinion, Kevin. I think we could be even further advanced as a country had we had equity in our practices, right? Because how many African American inventors created something and it didn't come into light or get implemented because of the color of their skin, right? It probably been decades afterwards where we're like, oh, this is a great idea, creating a filament for a light bulb. Oh, it create lights when we have consistent light in our houses, right? It took, I think we could have been further advanced. And I'm going to say this, and I want to preface what I'm about to say because I know this is a politically hot topic right now because it's fresh. But I think when we talk about, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say it because I just think when we talk about job and school and acceptance and giving opportunity, the whole purpose of the DEI process and affirmative action was to create equity. So if I'm in the same building or in the same place or going for the same thing as a counterpart that does not look like me, I am still given the opportunity, right? I can't go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. I want you to finish. I'm gonna go a direction in a
Yeah,
minute.
because it's about qualifications. It's about taking, honestly. This is my personal opinion. Once again, DEI and affirmative action is about taking race and gender off the table, right? It's not
Not putting
about
it on.
saying,
It's
not
taking it
putting
off.
gender and gender and race on the table. It's about taking it off the table as a qualifier for things, right? Why are and that same thing with the Civil Rights Act? Why are these things qualifiers? If I am capable of doing the job, I think about the movie Hidden Figures, right? If I'm capable of doing the job, I should. And I have the accolades and I have the ability and I'm the best person in this area. I should get the job, regardless of the color of my skin. I was just thinking about this today, back when the Tuskegee Airmen, right, couldn't fly. All they could do was work on planes, but were some of the best fly boys ever in the military, right? Guiding bombers to some of the biggest strikes on enemy during the World War. So it's like, but they couldn't fly because of the color of their skin. It had nothing to do with their talent or ability. And I think that's what DEI and affirmative action was doing. It was taking gender and race out of the equation. Now, there's arguments on both sides about that. People are equating it, that you have some people are being hired because they're black and they're trying to meet a quota, but you have the same quota system when it comes to kids getting into certain businesses, into certain colleges, a lot of our Ivy League schools. So there's always been a process like that. But people, I just want to just keep beating this and beating this and beating this. It's about taking the biases off the table, right? And just people getting jobs based on their qualifications and merit. And I think all of it's being perverted now. All of it. I think on both sides. I think it's all being perverted, and I think we've digressed all the success that we've made in these areas because of the politicization of a lot of these topics and the reverse of implicit bias now becoming explicit biased, right? It's coming out. It's out. It's blatant. It's right in front of you. And so just remember that this is about creating equity in a way where where the way I look isn't a factor in my capability of doing the job or going to the school or what have
So I know you can't say you won't say certain things because of you have your reason why you don't want to say certain things. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to really hold
you.
back on much because this one thing that interests me before I get into this thing I want to talk about real quick. Is that diversity, equity, inclusion was removed, right? And all these companies going away from it. But you know what hasn't changed, Keith?
Just that.
When you fill out an application, it still asks you what race you are.
Correct.
They have nobody's removed that off the applications. If there's no need for DEI, then there's no need for that question. And I'm gonna say something that I do, and I know people like I know some people disagree with what I do. I don't really care, but I do it for a reason. On that question, where you black or not, you're Hispanic or not, which I think that's so funny. The first question asks, "Are you Hispanic or not Hispanic?" Don't get that question at all, right?
I never have.
Um, Never, I don't get that question at all. But now, if there's a box to say I don't want to answer it, I check that box. I don't want to answer this question. I don't why because my thing is why does it matter what I am? So a lot of
Hmm.
people like no, you should check that box and stand on your blackness, and it shouldn't matter what I am for this position. It shouldn't. And if this is a qualification, you're gonna look at on this application for me to get it, then I'm checking. I'm not telling you what I am because it shouldn't matter, right? And
And, and
so go ahead.
and I am I 100% agree with you. It shouldn't matter. I don't agree with the question, but on the flip side, I answer the questions just because of that.
See, a lot of people
Right.
do. A lot of people
Right.
do, right? I not and I just I'm not answering right. And I think a lot of people that like say something to me about it because you will be proud that you black, and I get all that. I'm supposed to be proud I'm black and all that. But this question has nothing to do with me being about my pride of being who I am. This question has nothing to do with, in my opinion, has nothing to do with that, right? To
Right.
me, I what I think is when I mark that on their application, they're gonna say, "Oh, another black guy." And it's gonna be looked at as part of instead of my resume and everything I have, they're gonna look at, oh, he's black. That shouldn't matter. In my opinion,
Hmm.
that just shouldn't matter. Um so this thing I want to do real quick is I want to let's talk about our own personal experiences, right? Let's talk about have
Hmm.
you ever been in a position where you felt that you didn't get a job because of your color? Because I can go first.
Go for it.
I am in a field of finance, a field of accountancy. I am qualified for my position. I have the degrees. I have some certifications, and I'm working on a big one right now. Every job I've applied for, I've been qualified for. But there's something about when you go into an interview and the way people look at you when you interview. You can tell when they walk in the room and they see that you're a black person. You can see the facial expressions. You can see the demeanor change a little bit. Some people don't understand that because they never had to deal with that because they're not different. I've experienced it on a number of occasions, and I feel like there's been a number of times where I was more qualified for a job because then I go back and look at who got the job and know for a fact that I was more qualified and be like, yep, I didn't get it because I was black. And I can 100% guarantee you that I didn't get it because I was black. Because if you look at the other person's qualifications and you match it with mine, they didn't compare. They didn't compare. Right. And so I think a lot of people that are not of color never had a experience that. I'm not gonna say they never had to experience not being able to get a job because if you're not qualified or somebody is more qualified, then you just don't get the job because there's somebody better. That's how this thing works. But I don't think many of them have to deal with being qualified and not getting a job on a regular basis and having to fight and scratch for um a position. Again, I'm in the finance realm. It happens all the time. Right now, my current job, I'm the only black person in finance. I'm pretty sure there's more black and Latin and other colored people that are qualified to be a part of finance. With the way the statistics of this station is set up, there's no reason why there should be less than 1% of color in an organization. No reason the way this nation is set up. No
Mm-hmm.
reason, right? Because we are a I'm gonna get to this too. Melting pot, supposedly, right? We're supposed to be a melting pot, supposedly, right? And you got all these percentages and these census and all that stuff. There's no reason why I should be limited from a job because of my color. And it's hard to fight that sentiment because it's hard to not fight the sentiment, but it's hard to prove it. The problem is it's hard to prove it. I can't prove that they didn't give me the job because I wasn't black.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sat in an interview, you went through the interview process with me, that could be the only reason. And that's where I think a lot of black people get frustrated because we do have people that are qualified, purely qualified for the position, purely qualified to get into Harvard and these elite schools, got the grades, got everything. But for some reason, they don't get it. That's why affirmative action happened. That's why. Like you said, it was to take race, gender, and all that off the table. It was to remove it, not to put it on. I think a lot of people got it twisted, thinking it was like, oh, we're giving we're giving hand me outs. No, we're making it fair. Trying to
We
make it
create
fair.
opportunities.
Like if I'm not qualified for a job, don't give it to me.
Don't give it
You
to
know
me.
why? Because I'm gonna get
I'm
in
okay with
there and
that.
I'm gonna fail anyway once I get in there.
Yeah.
Don't give me that job if I'm not qualified. If there's a white person that's better at me than a job, they should have it.
They should get the job.
They should
Correct.
have it. And if their resume and their credentials, everything is way better than mine, and they got the experience is way better than mine, they got the references and people talk about how great they should get the job over me. And I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with not getting a job when the person's not qualified. That is where we have the problem.
I would say, in this one, I won't shy away from it. But I'll be general about it, but I won't shy away from it. Is that the answer is yes. Um, I've been in a situation and are in situations where there's people I've trained who are now my superior, like they're now my superior, right? There's opportunity. Like if you look at my CV, my curriculum vitae, my resume, whatever you want to call it. All right, published two journal entries. Um, had my curriculum vitae is literally 7 pages long. Right, I have my doctorate. I have had a successful growth at every single school I've been at, right? And I don't take the credit. I have great staff. I've always had great staffs. And there's people who are put in front of me, and I can't. And it. I feel like I've hit a glass ceiling where where an unfair glass ceiling has been put, and it's hard not to make the connection, make that connection of race, because it's not talent, it's not ability, it's not certification, it's not that, right. um and so yeah, I feel like and it's sad because, and the great, I guess it's kind of, sometimes you feel like it's an abuse because you love what you do, right? I love changing kids' lives, but I want the opportunity to make that macro change. And I feel like I keep butting my head against this glass ceiling. And so, um, yes, I felt that way, and it's just sad because, um, when you have the tools and the ability to make something great, that you have a lot to provide, and you're not getting opportunity, and just you see other people just matriculate above and above and above you. It's very difficult not to see those differences, right? There's nothing else that you can point to, and it's sad, but it's a reality that we've been living for a long time. Um, and so I think we're going backwards in our society, the American society, to where um, that used to be done behind closed doors. Now it's right in your face. It's right
Yep.
in your face. People will tell you that's why they're not hiring you, right? People will overlook you and not give about doing it. I think we are going backwards from so much success that we've had, and I think we are going to find ourselves in a situation where um, we're surpassed because of it, right? I think with this new space race, this new American space race, um, because we're not willing to use certain tools or certain people, we're probably going to lose it to China. We're probably going to lose that space race. Um, and I just think that if we could just get to the point to where it's not about who you are, the color of your skin, your gender. It's about bringing the best minds to the table. It's about bringing the best abilities to the table. It's about it's about that, and I don't always feel that way in my profession. I think the reason why American education is struggling because we don't bring the best minds to the table. I think it is just as politicized as every other job in this country. Politics is controlling everything we do, and it's just not fair to our kids. So this is where I stand on all of it.
It's ruining it. Politics ruin it on ruin our nation in general. And don't think just because we're sitting there as two black kids, we talking about um Donald Trump or the Republicans. Politics is ruining this nation. When I say that, and I'm gonna just speak for me right now, when I say the word politics, I
I
am
mean,
talking
all of it,
about the right and I'm talking
and the
about
left.
the left.
I'm talking
You're
about the whole damn
ruining
line.
you're ruining this nation. Because
Kevin,
this
I'm
whole
talking
thing,
about right, left, moderate, green, all of it. The
everything
whole line, the
it's
whole damn line.
it's so bad, and don't even think they realize how bad it is because they're feeding each other egos, and like it's so messed up. It's so scary. And that's why it was so easy for these corporations. As soon as that mandate was dropped about DEI, how quickly some organizations scrapped it. I mean, they scrapped it.
It was
I
kind of like,
mean,
woo. It
man,
was kind
like
of like,
they got rid,
get rid
and
of
like
that.
and some of them felt it, like Target. They felt it,
They
right?
still doing it.
And so like my job, I would say, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but I think they've stuck with it, but I feel like they're starting to feel a little pressure. Like we still
Hmm.
have our employee resource groups and stuff like that. But I feel my feeling is that it's starting to deteriorate a little bit, but hopefully not. Hopefully we stand strong going in, and hopefully we continue growing because I am the leader of our Black Employee Resource Group. I am the head of it. I hope they stick it out. But it's hard. Like this is the reason why I say it's doing it. It's not because our our job is doing anything wrong. It's because it ain't no black people. Like it's hard to have a black employee resource group when it ain't a lot of black people at the
Right.
headquarters. A little difficult. It's hard to have a Asian American group if there's not a lot of Asian people at the headquarters. So I think they tried they kept it fine, but it's starting to deteriorate a little bit. But now I think what we need to do is focus on the why. Why are we as a nation where we are? And that comes to individualism.
Mm-hmm.
That comes to who we are as individuals. So I'm gonna throw out a question, and this is a general question for everybody listening: is um why is DEI a problem to you? And on the other side is, why is the government getting rid of DEI a problem to you, right? Let's talk about individual racism. Talk about individual racism. Let me be honest with you. I'm being honest. You might disagree with what I'm about to say, but I feel it. I'm not gonna say it because I don't
I
feel
think
like
I
I'm this way. I don't feel like I'm this way, so I don't want to say it. I feel
no,
like a
but I know
lot of people. Go ahead.
no, I know what you want to say, and I think you were going to say you're gonna say like everybody has some racism in them. No, I disagree with that. But one thing I do agree with is
That's why I
everybody
stopped
has
myself.
bias. Everybody has bias. That's one thing
Bias
you
and
cannot.
prejudice, right? Prejudice
Yeah,
and bias.
and that's where you once you acknowledge that you can deal with it, right? We're not saying everybody is racist, but we all have prejudices and biases,
And that's
and it's
different than
very
that's different than preferences.
right,
That's not the same
correct.
thing. It's not the same thing. All right. So the big question is, if you don't like something, what you have to do is examine why you don't like it.
Yes.
If you don't like DEI, why don't you like DEI? If it has anything to do with your sentiment that unqualified people are getting jobs or qualified people jobs, you need to go do some research, right? On DEI, on affirmative action, and really do what and look at what the purpose is of those things. Now, if Keith said, if some of these jobs or these corporations start creating quotas where, oh well, I guess we got to hire a couple black people or we got to hire a couple Latin people. If they're doing that, that's not the affirmative action law being a problem. It's a problem with that corporation. So I think your
Correct.
anger, your focus is on the wrong thing. And so again, if you have a problem with something, and we're talking about DEI and affirmative action right now, but if you have a problem with anything that deals with another person, ask yourself, why do I really got a problem with this? And you'll be shocked at what you come out when you think about yourself, when you say it to yourself. Just try it. Say,
Mhm.
why don't I like DEI? Oh, because they're giving all the black people the jobs. You're telling something about yourself there.
But I think you said something very key about doing research, because if people who disagree with this would do the research on both DEI and affirmative action, they will find out one thing, Kevin. The biggest recipient of DEI and affirmative action, do you know who it is? The biggest
Poor white
recipient,
people.
white women.
I can
Look it
see
up.
that.
Look at the research. Look at
I
the
can believe
data,
that.
right? And so that's why you have to take gender and race off the table, because the viewpoint that it is giving black and brown people unqualified jobs is just simply not true. It's just simply not, right? And if you look at the fact that it is creating equity among hiring, that qualified people, regardless of their gender and race, are getting employed, that it creating an equity in that way, that those things are being taken off the table. Okay, but if you looking at the number based on race and gender, you'll be very surprised. I think a lot of people will be super surprised by the data, right? And it's just not rhetoric, it's just not talk. Do the research for yourself and you will see it. And it's just that's the thing. We got to get to a point to where, hey, look into it for yourself and understand why why you don't like it. Like, is it because that you were wrong in some type of way? Once again, like Kevin said, that's the company's problem, right? Or is it because it's your political affiliation? That's your internal problem. Like it's not the programs, right? It's your viewpoint on the effect that those programs are having on you, which may be completely baseless, right? They can be based on political rhetoric. It can be completely based on your feeling towards a group. It can be completely baseless, but that's your outlook on it, and it comes across as that program is the problem, and it's not. It's honestly, it's you or it's the company, right? It,
Eh,
but part of it is that it is the polarization of our country, right? I think that's the answer to your question. I think our country has become so polarized, and it has become so politicized. It has become so fractured that the lines have been drawn, and you willing to. And I think, and this is on both sides. You're willing to forgo everything you believe in for a point of view, right? It can be one point of view that you agree with, and you're ready to rock with that and forget the other 30 things that directly affect your life because of a passion that you have. And I think that's what it's more about. And it's sad because um, we're going to keep having revolution after revolution after
no,
revolution
no.
after revolution after revolution because we keep. It's kind of like the Big Bang. You know, I talk about the Big Bang. It goes out, comes back in, out, comes back in. You versus go. It's like that. It's like we win, lose, boom, explode, revolution, revolution. And it's and it's sad because it seems like that's the cycle that we're continuing because of this politicization of our beliefs. Um and it's just not. And so I want to kind of go back to the biases piece because I just need everybody to understand that what we said, we all have some type of bias, right?
Yeah.
We see it in the way we joke, we see it in the way we react to others, and we have these biases, right? But the key to fixing all this is to check your biases, right? Your biases cannot be a part of your decision making, right? Your decision making has to be based on fact and truth, not your biases. And so often in this world, we make decisions based on our biases and prejudices rather than checking them. I know I have this bias towards blah, 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 but I'm making the decision in this confine, and I can't have that influence that decision. That's the way you have to look at it. We all have them. There's nobody who can't sit here and tell me that they don't have a biased bone in their body. You are an absolute, and I'll tell you to your face, you're lying. You're lying. We all have it, but it's how we navigate our biases. It's about how we check our biases. Like, man, I'm thinking about this way, and that's a bias. I need to check that and make my decision based on the truth and the facts, what's right in front of me. And until we, as a being, because it's not only America, it's over the entire world. Until we get as a being start understanding that is a process to get towards equality, right? It's by checking our biases. We're always going to have this revolving door of conflict due to gender, race, sexuality, all that. We're going to continue to have the revolving door of conflict because we're not willing to check our bias. If a gay man is the best lawyer in America and he has all the accolades, why is his sexuality a decision? And if he should be able to take that job as a that's a bias. Like, we have to be able to check those things in our reasoning for why we don't allow certain things. Is it because I simply just don't like that, or they're not qualified, or they don't have the credentials? Because that's what it should be about. they're not qualified, or they don't have the credentials, or this person is more qualified or have better credentials, not because they're black, they're Hispanic, they're part of the LGBTQ community. Like, those shouldn't be options, because if we want to see success as a people, we have to get the best people doing the best job, right? Regardless of who they are and where they come from. It seems
Yeah.
so simple. It seems
It
so
seems
simple.
that way,
We
huh?
just can't do it. We just can't do it, and it bothers me.
And I would say one thing about biases is that biases are environmental,
Mm-hmm.
right? They are literally a product of your environment. We all, I think most people have a racial bias, right? Um, Black people always eat chicken. They all black. They eat watermelon. They always do this. They always do that. Like, white people, they whatever. Like, white people do this. Like, we all have this thought of another race or another ethnicity based on what our environment tells us about those people. That's the worst kind of bias. It's when we allow our environment to tell us about another ethnicity or another culture based on our own interpretations without doing research about that culture or that race or that ethnicity. There's some black people that have a very disdain towards white people, and they raise kids, black kids who raise them to have very disdain towards white people. There are white people that do the exact same thing on the side, and it creates this racial divide on every side. Asians, Latin people don't like black people. Latin people don't like white people because of the environment that was created. And these biases that were created based on our own environmental communication about the other ethnicity. And so that's where we have to stop as a culture and as a people, and stop creating these biases in our children about these other cultures. We should be willing to allow our children, allow ourselves to get to know those cultures. Like, you can't make a decision on a culture until you get to know it. Now, some of your experience with that culture might cause your bias to stick, because you might get an experience from a racist person, be like, yeah, I think a lot of black people are racist. So when I see them come near me, I'm across the street, because your experience showed that. We got to show people different things, man. We got to be willing to get to know the other side of the coin before we make decisions on it. And I think that will trickle into those corporate spaces. That will trickle into those school spaces where we'll start realizing that we're all humans. We're all the
Mm-hmm.
same. There is no difference. We might eat a little bit food a little bit different here and there, but as far as who we are, as far as our brain matter and how we think and how we move, we're all actually the same. But we can't allow our environmental biases to change our thought process about an individual or a people. And that's how I feel like about those environmental biases. Just, they really control a lot of our decision making in this nation.
I will tell you this, man. You know who some of the most honest people with bias are, and I think we can learn a lot from them? Comedians. Comedians are proof that we all have biases,
Yeah.
right? And I think most comedians are pretty honest about their biases and open about their biases, um, and they turn it into to comedy and theater for us to laugh at. And I think in order to do that, a lot of comedians have to check their their biases so they won't go overboard. I think we can learn a lot about how prevalent bias is in our decision making just by listening to a few comedians, right? But it becomes a um. But right now, what you have about biases that I just want to share before I don't know how long we got to wrap it up, but is that the inverting of implicit versus explicit biases, right? It just now people are so emboldened to have their biases out there, like right in your face. I feel this way, and there's nothing you can do. And we can say, let's debate about it, let's talk about it. But if you ever listen to any of these debates, even the ones where they sitting in the chairs talking back and forth, the one guy does it. I know Amanda Seals just did one. There's another guy, like all these different groups, both I saw one for LeBron James and Jordan where they sit down in that chair and they have the timer and they can time out and get out. Even if you see those, nobody is listening to each other.
Nobody.
Nobody, and you can say they are. You can say they are, but you can hear the bias in the arguments from both sides, both the person that's in the chair and the people they're going against. Because the first thing they do is they hear something they don't agree with, they're they're willing to defend it. But I guarantee if you increase that timer and say you
Each
got
person
to
have
give
to.
each person had to talk, and you have to restate what the other person just said, I
Uh-huh.
bet we get more done, right? But what we do is we prepare for the rebuttal. We prepare to attack the bias, right? We prepare to attack the difference rather than try to understand it so we can combat the difference. It's a difference than attacking it, then combating it, right? So what I heard you say is this. Now let me explain to you what I believe and how my viewpoint of that is different, how I'm taking that bias, but we don't. It is always a fight or flight kind of mode when we talk about our biases and have debates about topics that we don't feel comfortable with or we that don't want that we disagree with. And so right now biases are in the forefront, they're explicit, they're right there in front of you, and we don't know how to deal with it because we're so used for so many years to being implicit, right? We're so close to being behind closed doors and behind the scenes. And so now that it's out there and it's a platform for it to be out there, we don't know how to attack it. And our only way we attacking it, Kevin, the only way I seem to that seems like our nation and our world is being able to attack that is with hate.
All day.
The weapon of choice is hate. And that makes no sense to me. The weapon of choice is hate. And that's
Yeah.
no good for anybody.
And I want people to know and recognize that if your bias is so strong that it turns into an ism, you need to check yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your bias is so strong that it turns into ism, racism, sexism, whatever. If your bias is so strong that it turns to an ism, you have a problem. You
Mm-hmm.
have a problem because it shouldn't be that strong to where you hate people or hate a certain decision somebody make to that strongly to have an ism. That what their race does, you don't like it so strongly that it turns to racism. That sex, that those women or that men that is so strong that it turns to sexism.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. Like is how strong are your biases? How strong are they? Because if they're strong enough, you might want to check and see if you one of those isms and go seek some real help because you're the problem.
How about
You're
this,
the
kid?
problem.
How about what if it turns into ism, but if your bias guides your actions, you have a problem. I'm sorry. If your bias guides your actions, you have a problem. Right?
It,
Um,
and I in mind here is that and I we've said this before is that you ain't gotta agree with each other to love each other.
yep, you sure don't.
Me and Keith disagree quite often. Doesn't change how we feel about each other. Don't mean I'm gonna go do something bad to him because we disagree. That's the greatest thing about being a human, man. You can have your own opinion. You can disagree and still love a person.
And walk away.
Yeah, stop going tit for tat with people. Like, stop trying to win every. Like, man, Key, you understand me now, man. I don't try to win arguments no more, bro. I don't. You got it. And
Yeah.
when you prove wrong, I'm just gonna look at you. I ain't gotta tell you it was wrong. You see you was wrong. I don't even at work and all that. Like I don't fight when I get annoyed with managers and all that. Like it's just like you got it, but when you prove wrong, you have to come back to me. I'm just gonna look at you. We ain't gotta say no
Yeah.
words. But learn to walk away, man. Learn to stop being so divisive. Like everything is not worth the fight. Everything is not worth the argument. Live your truth. Be respectful to each other. And if you're not living in this world based on the simple concept of Jesus Christ, which is love, then you're wrong. Jesus Christ wasn't here on politics. Jesus Christ was on here on none of that stuff y'all talking about or doing. He was on here on one mission: love. That's it. That's it. If you got the inkling of hate in your heart, inkling anything in your heart, you are not following. I don't care how much of a Christian, how much of a church you go to. I don't care you out there doing missionary shit. I don't care what you do. If you got an inkling of hate in your heart and you feel a certain way about a people, his people that he loved and he died for, you're not living in his truth. You're living in your own. And good luck with that. I
Yeah.
promise you, you're gonna fail.
Yep. And my last point is don't let your biases stoke anger, hate, negative reaction, and one that don't fit any of those, fear. Hate, anger, negative reactions, and fear. Don't let your bias stoke any of that. Like Kevin said, man, we gotta move in love, man. We gotta learn how to agree to disagree. We gotta learn how to, hey, I don't believe your viewpoint, but I still love you. Um, and honestly, Kevin, it's just simply not the world we live in, and it worries me. It
Bro,
worries me. That's why I don't even post politics, like political. You know, I love politics. I don't even like.
bro,
I don't even get into the arguments and debates anymore because it's all done in hate. It's all done in bias. It's all done in racism. It's all done in I know more than you, and I am at a different position and place than you. All right, we don't do stuff in love no more. So I'm not letting
e-
them stoke fear,
everybody
anger,
think
or
they
none of
right.
that.
Everybody think they right, even when they wrong.
Yep.
Even when they wrong, people still try to fight it,
Yes,
find
sir.
to find the answer to make them right. Sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? I'm
You
wrong.
got it. You
I'm
got it.
absolutely wrong. I don't care where I try to pull it from. I'm wrong. Like I lost that one. But that, like you
Yeah.
said, our world is not there. We're
We're not
far
there.
from that, and it's beyond. Like you said, it's beyond the United States. It's
Yeah.
beyond the states.
It's
It
global.
is. It is absolutely global. But man, um, again, if you live in love, I'm telling y'all, love alone can change the world. Love by itself, love by
Yep.
itself
I
can change
concur.
the world. All right, all right, man. That's TuVues, man. We talking about diversity and inclusion and internal biases and internal racism. But hot topic. Some people ain't gonna agree with what we said. Hmm. We care, but we don't.
Mm.
Right. But we try, man, if y'all can't tell, we try to be fair. We try to be fair. Um,
I think people won't believe won't those that don't like it. I think it'll be on both sides, and it's because we tell them they both wrong. I think we tell you you're
both
both wrong.
left, right, and in the middle. You're all wrong. All you're
Yeah,
wrong.
and not even on political spectrum. It's just like race wise. Like
People.
it's so
People.
it's people in general. Like you're all like not all, but a big majority. You're wrong in the way you're looking at all this. And we're not playing to a side, and that's where people will disagree with it. Oh
Tell you,
well.
man, if these different races just go have lunch with the other race, man, y'all might have a good old time. Might have a pretty good
Yep.
time. Go have lunch and have a chat and just have not about nothing deep. Just talk and get to know each other. Probably learn, have more in common than you think.
Yep.
But love, heart posture. Y'all know what it is. TuVues, we heart posture people. Well, where's
That's
your heart
right.
at? Where's your heart at? Hate in your heart, you know, you'll figure it out. All right, man. TuVues, man. We got some more coming for you. Not all as I won't say politically based, but not all as
Charged.
that's a good word, charged, right? But we're gonna have some fun too. We're gonna talk about some more personal stuff. But we are gonna talk about the real. That's something we never shy away from. If it's relevant right now, and we feel like we're going through it as a culture, as a people, as a nation, we're gonna talk about it, and we're not gonna shy away
Yeah.
from it because we're not scared of none of y'all.
And
Believe
on the
that.
next show, on the next show, Kevin gonna give y'all hair care tips.
And Key gonna teach y'all how to extend your neck.
All right,
We should
man.
have a roast as well. All right, TuVues, everybody. We up out of here.